Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So my name is Marieli, and as you guys can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be telling you guys about the time that I was 15 and pregnant. So my boyfriend and I met many years before we actually took each other, I guess you could say, serious, and actually got into a very serious committed relationship. We met when we were very young, so we did date back then, but it didn't work out. We were super young, so we were like 10 or 11, 12, like around that age. When we got back together, we were around the age of 14, so we actually started to take each other serious. At like now looking back, it's a really young age, but at the time, like, we thought we were grown and we were gonna take this real serious and all that. So yeah, my family did meet him before I was pregnant, before any of that, but it wasn't a very like open meeting, I guess you could say. Like, my dad knew who he was, met him a couple times, but was very strict on, like, you can see him, but he can come into my living room and you guys can stay in the living room with all the lights on, with your little sister in the room with you, like that type of thing. And I was never allowed to come to his house. We were never allowed to go out alone, especially because he had a car, but he didn't have a license. So my dad never trusted me to go out with him because he didn't have a license yet. We were so young. And he was always driving. Well, it wasn't his car, it was his mom's, but like he would still offer to like take me out places, and my dad would always say no because he didn't trust the fact that he didn't have a license. So we didn't see each other that much until a couple months in. I was in my, at the time I had a best friend and she was having a Keens, and so we would have practices pretty often, but there was a couple days out of the week that we didn't have practice. Now, I would never tell my parents that. I always tell my parents that we had practice like every day of the week, super long practices, and I would actually be going to see my boyfriend at the time. Like, during that time, not boyfriend at the time, but like boyfriend at that time, I would go to his house. And sometimes I would just tell my mom, like, oh, we have to do this and this, so we have to go super early, we have to try the dress on, we have to go to this place, we have to go there. And so I would go like 3 hours before actual practice, and I would go see him. And at the time, I was finishing off my freshman year in high school. It was the ending of freshman year, and actually the month before this, so in February, I usually got my period every 15th of the month. And February, I did not get my period until the 18th. And by the 17th, I was freaking out and I was super nervous. I thought that I was pregnant. But, you know, obviously I wasn't. And I was telling my boyfriend, like, I'm super scared, like, I'm super nervous, I don't know what to do, like, I'm only 15, I can't have a baby, like, I don't know. And finally my period came like 3 days later, so we just brushed it off like nothing, moved on. And the same thing happened in March. So I missed my period, and 2 days went by and I was freaking out again. And my boyfriend was just like, dude, relax, like, we just had this issue last month and like you got over it, we went past it, like it was nothing, you're just thinking too much about it, like just relax, it'll come. And I was like, you know what, you're right, like it's gonna come, I shouldn't even stress about it. So I waited a couple days, then I waited a week, and then I waited a couple weeks, and then I waited a month, and my period never came. And so by this point, this entire time, I was so scared, but I kept brushing it off. I kept telling myself, like, no, you're not pregnant, like this cannot happen, it's not gonna happen, like you're good, there's just something wrong, maybe your period's just coming irregular now, like I don't know, but you're not pregnant, like you are not pregnant, girl, you cannot be pregnant. So I kept brushing it off until I just really had to just accept the fact, like, it's been a month, like what do you expect? So then I started to lose weight super fast. Like, I dropped weight like crazy, I had no appetite at all. So I started to be like, okay, maybe I really am pregnant. And then came the morning sickness. I was still going to high school at the time, so in the mornings when I would wake up before school to get ready, obviously, I would be throwing up all the time, almost every day. But in our bathroom we have like the little fan, like you have the light and the fan, and I would turn on the fan every day so it would make noise when I would throw up, just because I was so nervous that someone would hear. My parents lived in the basement of our house, like their room was in the basement, so I didn't think about them hearing, but I thought about my sister and my brother hearing, because we all went to school together, so we were all up in the morning getting ready for school. So they actually never heard me. They actually heard me once. I'm lying. They heard me once, and they joked about me being pregnant. And then when they found out that I was pregnant, they didn't even remember joking that time. And I'm like, yeah, you guys joked about it, and I was like really nervous that you guys were gonna find out. But yeah, so they didn't. I mean, I would throw up almost every single morning and they never heard me, just because I woke up way earlier than them. So they were still asleep when I was throwing up. Sorry if you guys just seen like the lighting go down. I fixed the ring light. But anyways, so basically it was only me and my baby's father who knew about me being pregnant, me and my boyfriend about me being pregnant. And we were talking about it. He kept telling me to tell my parents, and I didn't have it in me. I couldn't. My dad was so strict, and my mom, like, I just can't face her in situations like that. I don't know how to tell her. Like, at the time too, I had my little sister who was 2, but before her I was the baby of the family. So I took on like a really hard decision there, because I'm the baby of the family. Everybody sees me as the baby, and now the baby's having a baby. So, you know, it's not that easy to tell someone. So we actually decided to tell my boyfriend's mom first, and we told her, and she was just like she was obviously not expecting that at all. So she just told us that she thinks that I should tell my mom and my dad, because it's not fair to me to put my baby in harm if there's something wrong with her, just because I'm scared to tell my parents, which I completely agree with, because that's not right at all for me to have to put my baby through danger just because I'm too nervous to tell my parents and I can't own up to what I did. You know what I mean? So she's actually part of the reason why I told my parents so quick. Well, it wasn't even quick. It was like 3-4 months in, but to me that was quick. I literally didn't plan on telling them until the day that I was gonna go into the hospital and give birth. Then I was gonna be like, hey mom and dad, I've been pregnant and I think I'm going into labor. That was literally my plan. Like, I don't know how I was gonna go through with that, but that was my plan. So the way that I told my parents, I actually wrote a note. I didn't have it in me to just go to my mom and tell her that I was pregnant, so I wrote a note. And in that note, I literally said in the note, like, I'm announcing this earlier than I expected. Like, me and my boyfriend are having a baby. Like, we didn't expect this. This isn't what we planned, but it's here. It's happening. And, like, I just want to let you know. So, anyways, I remember this night so clearly because my little sister, she was 2 at the time. I don't know if I already said that, but she was 2 at the time, and she was super sick. She had a fever and everything. And so that night, my mom and my dad went out to go buy her medicine. And when they were out buying her medicine, I put the note on my mom's dresser. And later on that night, when they were asleep, I went downstairs to pretend like I had to go get something from the bathroom that was in the basement. And when I went down, I was looking for the note, and I saw it on top of her dresser, but this time it was on a different one. And in my mind, I'm like, she probably just threw it to the side, not even paying attention to it, which is exactly what she did. She paid no attention to it just because my little sister had a fever. Like, reading a letter was not her concern. And by this time, we had already got out of school. It was like 3 months past. I want to say it was like the ending of June. And so my mom had work the next day, but I didn't have school. So I went to my room. I went back upstairs, went to my room, and I tried to sleep that night, and I could not sleep for anything. It was so hard to sleep that night. I would maybe get a little nap here and there, but I was so nervous, and I should have been. That morning, when my mom was getting ready for work, I heard her running up the stairs. And, like, when I say running, I mean, like, those stairs were, like, she was trying to make her way up those stairs, okay? And I was like so nervous. My heart was like, oh my god, so far in my stomach. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. So I decided to just play asleep. So I did. I just like pretended like I was asleep. And she like flung open my door. Like, when I say flung, I mean flung. Like, that boy hit the wall, and like, I don't even know how to explain the noise it makes. Me like the noise that a doorknob makes when it hits the wall. And let me tell you, I'm the lightest sleeper in the world. So I know that she knows that I should have woke up, and I know that I should have woke up. Everybody knows I should have woke up, but I just played sleep. And then she was like, are you sure? Like, are you serious, Mariely? And I literally tried to just play dumb and play sleep still, and I just kept my eyes closed. She was like, Mariely, wake up. Like, are you serious? And so I woke up, me trying to act dumb. I'm like stretching, like pretending like I just woke up. Like, what are you talking about, mom? And she like lifts up the note where like literally in my handwriting says I'm pregnant. And she's like, are you really pregnant? So like, okay, there's no way I can play stupid out of this. Like, she literally has a note in her hand that says I'm pregnant on it. That's my handwriting, and at the bottom I signed it to me. Like, obviously that's me. I just told my mom, I was like, honestly mom, like, I don't know I hadn't taken a pregnancy test yet. I had just kind of put 2 and 2 together and figured that I was pregnant. So my mom was just like, she just didn't really want to talk about it anymore, and she went back downstairs to continue getting ready for work. And it's honestly like the worst feeling in the world. I remember so clearly. She was just crying downstairs. I could hear her because the stairs were like, okay, the stairs are right here, like my room is right here. Like I literally had a door that could take me straight to the stairs, so I could hear everything from downstairs, and I heard her crying. And I felt like a horrible person. Like I felt like the worst daughter in the world. Like I just couldn't stop crying because she was crying. And she actually went to work and she left, and I'm not gonna lie, I felt really relieved when she left because like I knew I didn't have to talk about it for a couple hours before she would come home, 8-9 hours. And when she went to work, she actually went to work for like less than 2 or 3 hours, and she was back home, which caught me by surprise because she works a normal 8-9 hour shift. So why is she home? And she actually told me that she couldn't handle work. Her boss told her that she could go home because she wasn't in the right state of mind, you know. Basically, I mean, she just found out that her 15-year-old daughter is pregnant. What could I expect, you know? So when she came home early from work, she literally just told me that she needed to take me to get a pregnancy test. She told me that she was going to take me to the doctors, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty shook. I was like, really? Like right now you want to go? And she was like, yeah, like I need to know if this is for sure or not. And I was like, all right, like let's go. I don't know. So I just got dressed and I went, and she told my sister, which my sister had no idea about. I have an older sister. She's 20. Yeah, she's 20 now. So when I was 15, she was 17. And I hadn't told her. I didn't tell anyone. Like I literally told no one. So she had no idea, and my mom was the one to tell her, like, your sister thinks that she's pregnant. And she was so mad that I didn't tell her. She was so mad that I didn't tell her. But so she was just like obviously really surprised, and my mom just let her know that we were gonna go to the doctor because she needed to see if I was pregnant or not. And so my mom took me to Planned Parenthood. We got there, and my mom asked the lady, like, can I go back with her? And the lady told her, no, unfortunately you cannot. She has to go by herself. So I mean, of course we respected that. My mom filled out all the paperwork for me, you know. As a kid, your mom always fills out the paperwork for you, so she did again. And I went back, they called me back, whatever. I go back, and she had me pee in a little cup, and then she came into the room with the results, and she was just like, so congratulations, you are pregnant, your test is positive. And I started bawling my eyes out, and the lady just told me, like, are you excited? And I was like, I was so honest with her. Like, I don't even know her name, I don't remember what she looks like, but I just remember telling her, like, no, my parents are gonna kill me. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna tell my mom and my dad. And so I ended up coming out of the room. My mom was like, okay, is everything good? Well, like, the lady gave me a second to get myself together, and then she gave me a bunch of pamphlets for like pregnancies and babies and all this like information, really helpful information, which I'm forever grateful for because that helped a lot. But regardless, me and my mom got into the car, and then she was just like, so what did they say? And I just started bawling my eyes out, and I was like, I'm pregnant, Mom. Like, I'm pregnant. And she started crying, and she was just like, why would you, like, why did you not think about this? Why didn't you protect yourself? And I was just like, I don't know, like, I don't know, Mom. Like, I have no idea. I was still in so much shock. I really didn't even want to talk about it with how shocked I was, but I mean, obviously it was gonna have to come to light. So my mom was the one to literally tell my entire family. She was the one to tell my sister. She was the one to tell my dad. She was the one to tell my brother, my grandma, my grandpa, like everybody. My mom was the one to tell, which I'm very grateful for, because I wouldn't have been able to look all of them in the eye and be like, hey, I'm 15 years old and I'm pregnant. So yeah, I went through a pretty rough patch with my dad during that time. We didn't speak for a couple of days. I mean, it was nothing crazy. It was just a couple of days, maybe a week or two. But it was a little intense, I will say that. Obviously I was 15 years old, so no one was expecting it. I went back to school in August, and I want to say maybe like a month in, we posted it on Facebook, and I mean, everybody knew. I didn't really have friends in school. My school is super small, so I didn't really have friends, so there really wasn't like supportive and non-supportive. I didn't really have friends in general. But My boyfriend was super supportive. He was working and trying to get everything together for us. My mom and my dad became super supportive, and I had my 2-year-old sister, so all of her hand-me-downs we took, so that made things so much easier. I actually had no complications during my pregnancy, and I'm forever grateful for that, because I do watch a lot of like 16 and pregnant videos on YouTube, and some girls have really bad complications just because they're so young, and I'm so grateful that I never had to have any of those problems. So yeah, I mean, everything went pretty good. She was born 2 weeks before her due date. She was born on December 7th, and I actually turned 16 during that time, so I gave birth to her while I was 16. Yeah, she was born December 7th. Her name is Jimena. And now everyone loves her. Anyone who was in my family who was really upset at the time, which I understand, but anyone who was really upset at that time and like didn't want to see her, didn't want to see me, didn't want to see my boyfriend, all that, everyone has come together, and everyone is super supportive, and I love my family. I love every single one of them. She is now 2 years old. Actually, I'm 18 now. I had her when I was 16. I'm 18, and she is 2 years old. She'll be 3 in December. I said yeah, her birthday is December 7th, so she'll be 3 this year, and I love her so much. She is everything to me. So yeah, I think that is the end of this video, this little story time. If you guys like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, and make sure you guys turn on your little bell, because I know like YouTube has this new thing where you can't even tell that someone posted a video unless you turn them on. So make sure you guys do all that, and thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.